gentrification moved the people who were there before because they couldn't afford the new and redone apartments.
Right.
Sort of what's happened on the Lower East Side.
Right, exactly. It happened in the Lower East Side. I think early Caribbeans, not just Puerto Ricans, although there were a lot of Puerto Ricans, but early Caribbeans from even English-speaking and French-speaking Caribbean moved first to the Lower East Side. That was actually their initial destination in the early part of the 20th century, and then moved up to Harlem later. By the 1920s, they moved to Harlem, and then you have the Harlem Renaissance, and then the Puerto Ricans moved into the Lower East Side. They moved into that neighborhood. But yes, that's happened to the Lower East Side, and I think because of where the Lower East Side, and this is not my area of expertise, but because of where the Lower East Side is located in Manhattan, I think that there's been more gentrification there than other parts of it. For example, Spanish Harlem or El Barrio, where we're going to go soon. But it was interesting to me because a lot of, now this is a little anecdote, but now that I've been looking to buy a condo here, and some people here actually at Hunter College told me, well, why don't you go to the lower, to East Harlem. There's building all of these great new buildings, new condos. So I went and looked at them, and they are beautiful, and they're more affordable than other parts of Manhattan. But it's very interesting because there's all this Section 8 housing everywhere. So you have these new condos, and then you have housing project, and you have another condo and housing. So being a single woman, I said, well, I don't exactly want to live, right across the street, or I don't want to have to walk across the projects to get from the train to where this condo is. But there is, around 104th Street, they built, 104th Street and First, I think, they built a green building, very pretty. A one-bedroom apartment costs about $850,000. That was last summer.
Oh, so
I'm sure it's less
now.
now because they were having difficulty selling them. But I said, well, first of all, it's out of my price range. And secondly, when I walk out on the balcony, I see the housing projects. I don't really think I want to pay, that kind of money for that. But the realtor and the developers were there, and they were saying, oh, but there's been a lot of talk about, there are a lot of developers who are ready and just waiting to raise those projects, and because that's prime real estate, because that's what's right on the water, it's right on the East River. And so, they're just waiting, dying to get their hands on that property so that they can build some amazing buildings. Well, of course, once they do that, then that would make the rest of East Harlem more desirable. But I just kind of looked at her and I said, when do you think that's going to happen? Because it's this whole issue of gentrification. So that once they do that, then where do all those people go? And they're enormous. Those buildings are enormous. She said, well, there's been a lot of picketing outside. And she was saying it like it's a great thing because they're going to have this property. But the question, of course, is then where do those people go?